Hello everyone again and welcome back to my channel. This video was requested a lot after my expose YG video. People want me to expose the other big entertainment companies and agencies, so today I will be telling the truth on JYP and JYP Entertainment. I've shared my opinions before on JYP, but today I'll go deeper and separate all of the good things he's done and also his shortcomings so that this can show both sides of the spectrum. Alright, let's get into it. So I'll start with the good. Compared to the other big three, JYP seems the most personable to me. He is a boss and a CEO, but also a music artist and a producer, and I think that's how he relates to his artists. JYP seems very involved and personable, which is why he's my favorite boss. He composed very iconic K-pop and Western music songs for artists like Wonder Girls, even Will Smith and other successful artists around the world. He's a really talented producer, and I think he's really a worldwide artist. He's also really good at making his artists unique. There's always a typical style for certain agencies and their artists. Like YG has a certain style that's very distinct to people. SM sort of has their own style as well, which definitely has its advantages aesthetically wise. But I think that JYP always has a very diverse amount of concepts for all of his groups, and I really like that because it makes them really unique and it gives them a lot of versatility in their performing and in their artistry and stuff like that. But there's more to praise him for just his musical talents, but also his business and leadership. No entertainment company in Korea is completely perfect and has plenty of very deep rooted issues, but I do appreciate the way that he manages his artists for the most part. JYP seems to be the most of the big three that cares about emotional and mental health from what I've seen on different occasions. JYP Entertainment has a psychology instructor that teaches all JYP artists on mental health care, and in addition, trainees receive sexual and moral education, which GOT7 and Stray Kids said helped them better understand situations and keep them out of trouble. JYP does care about the well-being of his artists, and he lets them take breaks, like how Jackson stopped working in Japan so that he wasn't overwhelmed with his solo career and GOT7. I think this is extremely important in South Korea, since the country does not really take mental health seriously, if we're being honest. It's in the leading top 10 list of countries of suicide rates, and I think it's number 4. It was number 4 last year for amount of suicides. So I think mental health is really important there, and you don't see entertainment companies really ever taking it seriously. So I'm glad that JYP does that. Of course, with all the good, there's always going to be the bad. While JYP manages artists well, he also has his shortcomings and moments where I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Mostly with his management. I can't fault him too much because JYP isn't the technical CEO of his company anymore, sort of like YG with YG Entertainment, but he's still very involved with the inner workings of the company. JYP has his favorites within the company. Clearly, the most obvious example would be Twice. I mean, is it even called or considered a comeback if they never ever leave to begin with? They are very hot artists right now, so I get why they're always coming back and always having new songs and whatnot, but they seem pretty overworked, in my opinion. From having members to take breaks from health issues and whatnot, I feel like they're really at their breaking point, and I think JYP needs to cut back a bit if they really want them to last. And then other groups get very little promotion, such as Day6 and Stray Kids, who rarely get comebacks and attention. And then also, just on the favorites, he leaves other idols out to dry when bad things happen. Like Day6's Junghyuk's dating scandal, there was barely any support for him there, which is a bit frustrating. And then another bad thing that I think is the worst out of all of these, there's the trainee mistreatment. Jay Park, who was the former leader of 2PM, said that there was so intense training and so much pressure that trainees would actually be hit and beat up and like cursed out if they messed up. And it's been over 10 years since he was a trainee, so I hope that this is not true anymore. But that is seriously so messed up. I was actually taken aback when I heard this because, like, I know South Korean trainees in the entertainment industry are very intense, but like, that is actually insane to me. So I hope this isn't true, but that's just an account of what's he's experienced, so I wanted to put that in there. And now we get to the ugly. And to me, the ugly isn't very much based on facts, but by people's perception of JYP and his entertainment company, so just bear with me. It's no news that JYP is painstakingly creepy. The image he shows and portrays to the public is sort of as like a player bachelor type, and from his solo songs and clips of him on Party People, you could sort of understand what I'm coming for. There's numerous of his solo songs that just make me uncomfortable, like Who's Your Mama or Elevator. Not to mention, it makes his artists uncomfortable and even people he's worked with before uncomfortable. I don't know. Some people like his solo music and just dismiss it as like funny or like quirky or whatever, or like not that deep. But honestly, for me, it's so cringy and weird. Like, he's almost 50 years old and oh my god, I don't know. It's so creepy. And people have said this before. So it's not like I'm manufacturing this from nothing, but it's just very creepy. There's been numerous accounts saying JYP is sort of a pedophile and very inappropriate and weirdly sexual. I definitely see how, even though that's a very serious claim. People say that he acts strange around Twice and his younger female artists. People also like to bring in the fact that his wife is almost 10 years younger than him, but they got married in 2013, so I don't think it's that big of a deal since it was so recent and she was probably in like her mid 30s when they got married. But even so, like, he does seem a little like creepy. I don't know. I just don't know. He's very creepy. And I feel like everyone knows that, so I don't know how much more I need to say on it. But that's basically like the ugliest part, in my opinion, on JYP. So, in conclusion, JYP and JYP Entertainment is not perfect by any means, but I think JYP is definitely one of the better bosses in terms of management. And JYP Entertainment always comes last when compared to SM and YG, but I don't think it's because he's a bad boss. I think he's pretty fine as boss, in my opinion. It's just other factors that I feel like make him not stack up with the other two. So tell me what your guys, so tell me what your guys' opinion is on JYP and his entertainment company and how he runs it, and your personal opinion on him. I know what most people think of him. And what do you want to see next? I could do an SM entertainment video exposed like this, or I could do another part 2 YG exposed video, which some people are asking for, because honestly, I am not done. I am not finished with exposing YG by any means. But don't forget to leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys next week.